Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy, and look what I've got this week. They finally figured out the logistics of getting press bikes down here to me in the woods. So, I have got my first press bike. This is the 2017 BMW R9T Scrambler. And they call it a Scrambler because chiefly of the high mount exhaust. Isn't that pretty? Which you can see there. The bike is based on the regular R9T, which is pretty much a standard super sport muscle bike, unfaired. Very similar, except there are a number of significant differences. The engines are the same 1200cc Boxer, but the frame is different. This is a multi-sectional frame, and one of the neat things about it is, you can see these bolts here, you can actually remove the entire footrest section if you want a cleaner look and don't want to carry any passengers. It's also got a somewhat different suspension. It's got a higher seat height, and I'll tell you something about the seat in a minute. And look at the cool old-timey forks with the gaiters. Standard 70s style telescopic forks. The regular R9 has, of course, modern inverted anodized forks, but man, I love the look of this thing. Also, and hopefully you can see this through my crappy, awful, cheap camera, this has a matte silver finish, so it's not shiny and clear-coated like a lot of new bikes are. I dig this. I think it looks super cool. And then there's this flat track seat, which BMW calls patinized, and it looks kind of like a mocha finish. Gorgeous, and despite the fact that, heck, look at it. What is it? About, I don't know, 3 inches thick, maybe. It looks like that would be really rough on your butt after a couple of hours in the saddle. It's not. I'm a pretty big guy, and I have a pretty skinny butt, and my butt did not hurt after riding this thing around all day yesterday. Now, the one thing about it is there's zero, I mean, ridiculously nothing as far as storage capacity goes. I've got a couple of standard bikes. You can see some of my stuff in here. And there's at least a little pocket somewhere where you can, for example, stash your wallet or a cell phone or something. There is nothing on this bike. What you've got is, underneath here, there is a little Torx screw under there that you can use to unbolt the seat, and there's a little pocket that you can put a couple of pieces of paper. That's it. That and some wind noise from, some tire noise from these super choppy MS tires, which, by the way, is the other thing, big thing, functionally, that differentiates this from the standard R9, and which make a racket on the road, are the only things that I can find to fault with it. It is a ton of fun to ride. It has 110 horsepower, and if you've ever ridden off-road, you will appreciate, or if you take this bike off-road, you'll appreciate what 110 horsepower can do off-road. These tires allegedly, I'll show you something else. You can probably see this. VMAX, Velocity Max, 100 miles an hour. The regular R9 comes with typical sport bike tires, ZR rated. These are not ZR rated. Look at the clod chunking tread on this thing. You can take this thing off-road. I took it out in the field, and it was very impressive for a 500-pound bike. You can take it off-road. Look at the cool 70s steering damper too, by the way. But it's not really designed for very high-speed work. However, it will achieve pretty high speeds. I won't go into a whole lot of detail on that. The bike is pretty affordable. It has a base price of $13,000. You can add stuff to it like ABS, which this bike has, and they do give you a button so that you can turn it off, which is handy. But you're probably going to want to keep it on until you get used to that 110 horsepower, particularly off-road. This bike is got the power to go sideways on you on gravel or mud or grass, so be careful about that. And on-road, it's got power to wheelie, no fuss, no muss on the throttle alone. Anyway, I will have more for you shortly up at epautos.com. And thank you for taking the time to view, and we'll catch up with you again soon. I'm going to have another review of this 650 GT scooter. Scooters are not generally my bag, baby, but I can understand why people dig them, and I'll get into that when I get into this one. So anyway, again, thank you for watching, and we'll catch up with you again.